This video is going to review lesson 10.1. The essential question is, how can you write algebraic expressions and use models to decide if expressions are equivalent? So here we have an algebraic expression. Let's just review the different parts of an algebraic expression. We have 4x plus 2x minus 7 plus 3y. So an algebraic expression is just an expression that contains at least one variable. And we can see that in our expression we have some variables, some letters. A coefficient is the number that is multiplied by the variable in an algebraic expression. A constant is a value that does not change. Term, these are the parts of an expression that are added or subtracted. And variable, this is a symbol used to represent a quantity that can change. So let's look at our expression. So coefficient, we have the coefficient 4, 2, and 3. These are a number that is being multiplied by a variable. Constant, we have one constant in our expression, and that is 7. 7 is just always 7. It's not going to change. Our terms, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. These are the parts of an expression that are added or subtracted. And then we have our variables. So if we look at our expression, we have the variable x and the variable y. When we're looking at algebraic expressions, we are going to see multiplication represented in different ways. We know that traditional x multiplication sign, when a number, a coefficient, is right next to a variable, as in 3n, that tells us we'll be multiplying. We can also use the dot to show multiplication. In our expressions for division, we might see that traditional division sign, or remember we can use that line to represent division. All right, when we're writing expressions, it's important to pay attention to the words to help us identify the operation that we need to use. All right, so again, let's look at that essential question. How can you write algebraic expressions and use models to decide if expressions are equivalent? You can write or model the variable, constants, and operations to represent each expression. Then you can compare the expressions or models. And we're going to focus on looking at our expressions today. So we're going to write some expressions using these words. 4 less than x. And so if we look down in our chart, less than is an indicator that we should be doing subtraction. So we have x, and we needed x to be 4 less than x. So x minus 4. The sum of 10 and y. So sum tells us we're going to be adding. And so we have our number 10, sum, and y. The quotient of n and 3, we can see quotient means division, so we can either do n divided by 3 with that division symbol, or n divided by 3 with the line. X multiplied by 22, so we hear multiplied by. When we are showing multiplication with a number and a variable, oftentimes in algebra you're just going to see the number right next to that variable, 22x. We're not going to use another x symbol or multiplication symbol. We're just going to put those together like we see in the chart. All right, choose the algebraic expression that matches the phrase, z times 5. Okay, so times is going to tell us multiplication. That's division, that's addition, that's subtraction. Here we see 5z. Remember, when we have a number right next to a variable, it indicates multiplication. So that is 5 times 6 plus n. So plus, we're going to use that plus sign. We can see here is 6 plus n. Okay, this time we're going to choose the algebraic expression that matches the phrase. So 8y. So we need to look back. Remember that when we see a number right next to a variable, it's telling us to do multiplication. And so in this case, we would choose 8 multiplied by y. When there is no symbol in between in algebra, we know that that means multiplication. All right, 6, line M. Remember that line tells us we're going to be doing division, and so we would choose this is 6 divided by M. The town of Rayburn received 6 more inches of snow than the town of Greenville. Let G represent the amount of snow in Greenville. Choose the correct algebraic expression to represent the amount of snow in Rayburn. So we know that Rayburn received 6 more inches than Greenville. So here's our Greenville, and we need to write 6 more inches than what was in Greenville, our G. And so when we hear more than, we know that we need to use addition. So we would write G plus 6. All right, your job today is to do HMH lesson 10.1 homework in the app. And then be working on IXL Y1, that assignment. It is write variable expressions with one operation. You need to turn in a screenshot of your progress once you have worked for at least 10 minutes or to a SMART score of at least 70. Have a great day.